Shelley Winter Show. Live, local, topical, and relevant. So before FIFA started, please don't leave. I'll keep you abreast. 0-0. I want to, before I talk about that and everything going on with Belgium and everything like that, I really want to take the time and talk about this. Criticism of America does not make it that you hate America, okay? It doesn't. I'll tell you one of the things about me you have to understand. You don't have to. I'd like for you to understand is a better way of putting it. I am a huge fan of documentaries on World War II, just documentaries in general. I just love them, learning things that I did not know before, learning little tidbits of history. I just love them. I love war documentaries, anything talking about World War I or World War II, but especially the Vietnam War. Interestingly enough, in Vietnam, they call it the American War, right? But it's interesting. What I'm most fascinated about when I watch documentaries on the Vietnam War is the split in America, right? So the left, largely, let's define it as left and right, for lack of a better term, right? The left were against the war. They were against the war, okay? They didn't like the idea that young people, young working class people, mostly young rural kids, young people from flyover country, which is called now, were being drafted to go to war thousands of miles away in a place where most people couldn't find it on a map. So they were against the war, okay? On the right, they were against the people who are against the war because they felt it was bad that you did not like America. Like when you see the rhetoric, when you see the protests and the counter-protests, the people who were defending the government, not the war, but the government going to war because they believed that the government was always right. And they believe, hey, this is America. We decide to go to war, so we go to the war. We follow. They were yelling at the other kids, the hippies, the long hairs, the reefer smoking kids. And it was very fascinating to me when I look at documentaries about that time that you realize one group was actually arguing and yelling against a policy that the American government was doing in their name as American citizens. The other group was simply defending the government no matter what. And that's why I say you can criticize America and still love it. Doesn't mean if you say, hey, it's 4th of July, I'm going to chill out. I'm not going to celebrate because I believe we have some fundamental problems in America. Doesn't mean you hate America. It just means that you just don't feel like celebrating because there's fundamental problems in America. Doesn't mean you hate it. The people that hate America say they hate America. Those people, I say, what are you doing here? Get a passport. It's perfectly legitimate to leave. And don't tell me about how your forefathers helped build this country because, it's not valid in 2026. But the people that criticize America does not mean that they hate America. It's okay. My mom and I were the closest that a son and mother could ever be. And we argued all the time. Doesn't mean that I didn't like my mother or she didn't like me. She didn't like my politics, but she didn't dislike me because of them. But we can argue. We can. America just scored 1-0. I'm sorry. I had to say that. America just scored. Great goal, by the way. Anyway, I shouldn't do that. But it's a big game. It's a big game. Anyway, so, that is America. It's okay. Don't yell at people that disagree with certain elements or portions or policies or certain points of America's history. Don't yell at them because you think they hate America. Just like I'll tell the other side, don't yell at somebody that says they love America. It doesn't mean they're a bad person. It means that I love America. There's certain things I disagree with. But the reason why I love America, as I said earlier, is because I love it because of the people. In addition to loving it because of the people, I also fundamentally believe, not loving it because of the people, I also fundamentally believe the people are what makes this country great. It's the people. I said it before, I'll say it again. It's the people. The people, my neighbors, your neighbors, that's what makes this country great. As I said earlier, thousands of towns across the country had fireworks displays on July 4th with live music, and they brought out the neighbors in that town, and all the neighbors got together. I just named some of them here in Georgia. Ackworth had 20,000 people up at Ackworth Beach up there. Chamblee had a concert with Robin Thicke, of all people, with 15 to 17,000. Towns all over had events for July 4th. That's what makes this country great, and it's okay to criticize it. It's okay. It's okay to say, hey, I don't like this. Hey, I think we should have Medicare for all. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. It doesn't make it a bad country, and it doesn't make it that you hate this country because you have that disagreement. I wanted to make sure I said that tonight because I heard a lot of black and white. I said to you early on this year, I said this show is not going to be black and white, red or blue. We're going to dance in the gray. And that's the gray. Just because someone criticizes or says something or doesn't like something going on in this country, it doesn't mean that they hate it. And I think we should all keep that in perspective as we talk about the greatness of this country. I do want to talk really quickly. There's a story coming out. You might not have heard about it. So it's in Mississippi. I don't know what happened, but I'm going to tell it to you like this. Here's the story. A body was discovered Monday morning on Mississippi's Horn Island as authorities continued an intensive search for 18-year-old Nolan Xavier Wells, an Ocean Springs native and Southwest Mississippi Community College football player who disappeared over the 4th of July weekend. Park ranger found a body around 8:45 a.m. on the island. Officials say it matches the description of Wells. Wells was last seen around 3 p.m. on July 4th while visiting Horn Island, part of the Gulf Islands National Seashore off of Mississippi's Gulf Coast that brings in a large boating crowd on the holidays. Wells had gone to the island with a group of friends and was allegedly seen hanging out with a girl before he disappeared. Jackson County Sheriff's Department led the search effort with assistance from the Mississippi Department of Marine Resources. There were some people that thought he might have wandered off to the middle of the island, maybe into that lake. We sent people up there today, and if he was barefoot, there's no way he made it up there. There's cactuses and a lot of thorny brush. He would not have comfortably been able to make it to the middle of the island. He probably would have turned around and went to the beach. Now, I'm going to say this. It's a lot of speculation because he was there with a group of white friends. All right. A lot of speculation online, warning African Americans, don't send your kids out. All the same racist stuff that pops up on social media just all the time. You know what I mean? And I don't really like it. But I don't know what happened in this situation. I will tell you this. I will say this. If I had children, if my child was away someplace with a large group of people and he goes missing, every single one of those people is suspect. Period. End of story. Full stop. Every single one. If your child, take it out of my hands. If your child, you're listening to me right now, your child or grandchild goes missing, and you as a grandfather or a parent say, well, where were you guys? Oh, we were all hanging out together. Well, then everybody's a suspect. And everybody better have answers. Everybody better have answers. Because you're all suspect. I watch enough crime dramas to know people just don't die when they're someplace. They just don't die. Someone had to do something, and everybody knows it. Now, I'm not calling into question any kind of anything else. I'm just saying whoever this kid was partying with knows something. Period. End of story. And I would not let them out of the interview room, as they call it, on television until I got some answers. You don't just get to sit there and say, I don't know, last time I saw him, he was with this girl, and then I don't remember. No. I will keep you there for days if I have to until I get an answer, because you know something. Kids don't go missing when they're with large groups. I know that, being a former kid who hung out with large groups. People just don't go missing. We know where everybody is at every moment. I know maybe this new breed of kid is different, but I know when I was growing up, if it was a large group of us hanging out, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we were all hanging out, everybody knew where everybody was. The next morning, everybody knew where everybody ended up. Yo, you see Steve last night? Oh, yeah, Steve walked off with that girl from Haven Hall. You know her, the blonde-headed one. Oh, yeah, I saw that. Everybody knows where everybody ended up because we're all together. Women especially. So I don't know what's going to happen with this story, but I know those kids that he was hanging out with, they know something. And until the cops get to the bottom of what they know, I would not let them see the light of day. They stay in the interview room, no water, no food, no nothing until you talk. Shelley went to show. We'll be right back. God bless the Wells family. My sincerest condolences to you on losing your son. We'll be right back.